very creative. Like, I always say, if he wasn't a magician, he'd be an inventor.
I think it was quite obvious from the start that you had a talent and you had a passion for it.
Freddy was a straightforward, good black country lad.
Quite a big ladies man.
Freddy was very smart with what he did. Lots of sleight of hand, he was very quick.
This is all a bit official, isn't it? Hi, I'm Freddy Vipond. I'm a close-up magician and I'm 21 years old.
The day I met Freddy, it was actually on a night out. We were going out into a club and we stopped at a pub first to meet a friend. And when we walked in, she was actually sat on a table with Freddy and she introduced us to him. My impression of him was quite good. Like, he was really talented at his magic. He sat us all down at the table, showing us all his tricks, some new ones he invented, some old ones. It was quite a nice day.
I've been in close-up magic since 2018. I started pretty much straight after my GCSEs ended. I started magic because my mum's husband Mike loved magic, and when I first met him, I think it was actually only the second time I met him, he was watching Penn and Teller Fool Us, and I sat and watched it with him just to get to know him better, and I loved it. So I learned a couple of tricks here and there, and I got addicted to the feeling of people's reactions, just the amazement people were getting. It was so good, I loved it. And as I learned more and more, that reaction became like a drug. It was just constant. I needed to know, I needed to have that reaction that I was getting from people with magic. Now what stemmed from that was, I fell in love with it. And not only did I fall in love with the actions, but I loved the psychology behind it, I loved the techniques, I loved the shuffling of the cards, I loved everything about it. And what that's allowed me to do now is to create a career in the two things I love the most, which is entertainment and making people smile. And magic was the perfect marriage of those two things.
Right, this is day one of filming the Freddy Vipond magic documentary. We've got my cameraman Alfie, sound technician Ollie. It's going very well so far.
Can you take that pen and can you sign that for me? Perfect, okay. Right, okay. Run it up. Right, okay. This is the awkward part, okay? Slide down on that card. Okay, do not let go. Okay? And I'm going to sign this one, okay?
Out of all the tricks I've seen, my favourite would be the queens and the fours.
It's this one trick he showed me in the pub when we were outside, and it was to do with these like queen of hearts and some other one, and he was like teleporting it and like multiplying it in his hands out of nowhere.
Have a look at
What?
that.
No! What?
Right, we're currently in Nottingham, outside our good friend Alfie, who's behind the camera, outside his uni accommodation. We're going to be filming some street magic today. Let's go. Right, Finn, can you stand there for me? Can you stand there facing the opposite? Okay. Right, okay, so in a minute, Finn, you're going to close your eyes. You're going to remember anything you might feel, okay? So, for example, if I do that, or if I do that, okay? So close your eyes and remember anything that you felt, but don't say it until I ask you, okay? But you can tell by the sound of my voice I'm not sitting next to you, right?
Yeah.
But a minute ago you did feel me touching it.
Yeah.
Okay. How many times did you feel it, would you say?
2, 3.
2, 3, okay. The last touch that you felt,
Yeah.
where on your body was it, would you say?
It was my back.
On your back?
Yeah.
For your eyes? Are you sure you felt touched on your back?
Yeah.
No one touched you, Finn?
Wait, what? Because I
No
thought
one.
it was on my back.
Yeah, I touched you on your back.
Right, okay.
He felt.
Oh.
No one touched you.
What the
f***? Can you send your right hand over for me? You put your left hand like that. Perfect. Okay. Can you see that X there? Turn your hand over.
What the
Put table. Okay, table. And then everybody look at each other's and then also show the camera.
Yeah, we're good.
Kelly, you carted.
Got learned this.
Right, we'll go with you two both at the same time first, okay? Right, can you remember yours?
Yeah. What the f?
Can you hold on to those for me?
Yeah.
So yours. Right, so
Oh, I see.
So are you in the magic circle?
No. So, you've probably been watching this documentary wondering why it's called The Anti-Magician, which is a fair question. It sounds like somebody who doesn't like magic or somebody's against a magician. The Anti-Magician was a nickname given to me because I wanted to do magic in a very different style to the magicians. I wanted to take away stereotypical cringiness and I wanted to try something new. Now, there's so many magicians out there that you could say aren't cringy as I'm like, oh, it's completely up to an opinion base. But the Anti-Magician was just a nickname I was given and it's one that stuck and I loved it.
Right, Merry Christmas, Boxing Day. We're on our way to West Brom versus Norwich at home today. Can't wait. I love the Boxing Day games.
So I started going to West Brom by myself around the time I started magic. It was about the same time actually, the summer of 2018. I was supporting West Brom my whole life, still go pretty much every game. But what it allowed me to do was two reasons. Going to the games by myself allowed me to build some confidence around big crowds, and I never got scared in big crowds, but handling them by myself was something I had to learn. And then when I started becoming more confident in my magic, and I got to perform for my friends at the football, and people I'd never met, which I was doing all the time because my friends were bringing people up, so come on, look at this. And they were asking me to show their friends magic tricks that I'd never met. And that built me up to be able to perform for pretty much anyone. I didn't even realise it was doing it at the time. I was meeting people every day, going to every game, and I was performing for them. And that built up my performing ability and my confidence simultaneously.
And in a minute, I'm going to start to slow my hand down. I want you to tell everyone exactly what you're doing. Start slowing it. That is great. That's so weird. You can't feel it. I'm getting slowly going up my two fingers. But if I start doing it again, feel it turn back on. Then I'm going to go stop. Start. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking weird.
Hi Dan, you alright?
You do, mate. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So how long have we come to your gym then now, would you say?
You've been coming to this gym for about, I'd say about 5 years or so now. Yeah, easily. But I think what's been nice for us is that we've seen it grow from a young lad who obviously was, one, very good obviously, but two, very passionate about it. But then there's that period that we've seen you grow from the charity ball, from the fun days that we've done here and other events that we've done. We've seen you just become more confident, seen your personality come out more and more because it just brings the performance factor, brings the humour to it as well. And then to top it off, who doesn't love magic? I remember the hypnosis, just from being, it's something that, particularly with the person that you use with Aidan, he's not just going to play along with something like that. So it was really interesting because it's so raw, it's there, right in front. There's people semicircled round. And I just remember you speaking to Aidan, and then I think it was your tips of your fingers, you put on his head, and then just you placed your hand on his back, and literally he just went backwards and you just laid him onto the ground.
This is a champion of mixed martial arts as
Yeah,
well.
so British, European and world's title holder, and you put him on his back.
I'll tell everyone. I put him on his back.
With 2 fingers.
I was the only one that did that entire year. And finally, it'd be rude not to do something for you.
It would. I love a bit of magic.
So, right, okay. Okay. Take anyone you like.
Yep. Okay.
Show the camera as well. I'll look away.
Okay. You got that?
Okay, put your card back. Yes. Right, so we take that card for example,
yes.
And we'll take the two quid. None of them are yours, are they?
No.
That's good. Okay. Can you hold on to the deck of cards for me?
Yep.
There we go.
Okay.
Have a look.
Of course it is. Outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Look at that. Top man. Love it, mate.
After everything opened up from COVID, so from the March 2020 when COVID came about to July 2021 when everything was open again, I didn't really have many opportunities to perform for people, so I spent all the time practicing. So that sort of comes in and everything opens up again, and then I start going nights out because I turned 18 during COVID, so I didn't really have a chance to. And what I found was that all the tricks that I'd learned over COVID, I'd never performed them, so I was performing them for anyone I could perform, just to get that feeling again that I'd missed for a year and a half. And performing on the nights out, again, it was, without even realising, it was training me for stuff I hadn't realised. So, for example, the big noises, or even the people who were trying to be awkward with me, I didn't realise at the time, but those were probably the best people for me, because they were teaching me how to deal with anybody. And the nights out with the music, meeting all sorts of people, all manners of people, was just perfect for me. And when I started going nights out, I'd always have a deck of cards on me, because it might be the first week no one knows who I am, but maybe next week there's one person who remembers me, and before you know it, 3 months in, and everywhere I went in literature, for example, everybody would come up to me and say, "Can you see a trick?" And that to me was just practice. I loved that. That was what I wanted for years, and I can't speak enough about how much I love that when people come up and ask me to see stuff, because it's what I work
for. Freddy's very charismatic. He brings everyone's energy up, he's very entertaining, and again, really, really easy to get along with.
Now, I grew up in a teeny tiny village called Rangemore. I don't think anybody would have heard of it apart from the people who grew up with me. Rangemore is a beautiful little village. So 12 years we've been living here. It's good to be fair. I mean, the gardens evolved quite a lot. I think we've had all sorts. There used to be a football pitch here. Cows used to live here all the time. But as you can see, I've lived in a beautiful, beautiful place. I'm very lucky on that front. So that gives me a good platform to work on my magic in a very calm and collected house environment. At the time of filming this, we've actually days ago had the whole field flooded. It was awful, you have no idea. So I feel sorry for these little fellas, even though they do have a wool jacket on. Then we got the chickens there. So I think my parents split in 2011, and long before I started magic, I started magic in 2018. My dad met a woman called Trish, who is the most amazing woman, and she helps us so much. She's helped us for years. And then my mum met Mike, who I mentioned a bit ago. He was the one that got me started into magic. Now, I wouldn't say that the divorce had an impact on my magic as such, but in terms of life and stuff, it was just something that you just sort of learn to live with over time. But it was good to a degree, because it taught me how to be able to hold up and work for things myself, as well as having unconditional support from my mum, my dad, my stepmom and my stepdad. So they're all amazing people. I can't credit them enough for what they've done for me. For a long, long period of time, you're the only friend I knew that I had.
Yeah,
Constantly.
same with you, yeah. I've known Freddy for 15 years now. Freddy means a lot to my family. He's literally, my mum looks up to him as if he's her own son. The amount of times he falls over the stupidest little things ever. Going clothes shopping. He's like a kid in a toy shop. Hats is a big one, yes. He'll wear every single hat possible.
Freddie, put the hats down.
Sorry. So I have 3 brothers, Max, Felix and Fabian. I'm the oldest. They're all brilliant. I mean, they all have their moments where you may want to punch them in the face, but who doesn't with siblings? My brothers are all incredibly intelligent. Max can do stuff with a computer I couldn't do with 100 years of practice. Felix is a brilliant cook, and Fabian, he's only a young lad, but he's doing maths for people 5 years older than him. He's just a genius. He's doing stuff that I'm looking at the questions and I have to think about it, and he's just banging out the answers constantly. Now, growing up with 3 brothers and learning magic, there was obviously parts of this that they found quite amusing. I mean, at the start, much like most people, I don't think I thought I was going to take it very seriously, because I went through trends growing up where I would find these little things that I found really interesting, and then I would move on to something else a few months later. I think everyone expected that to be the same with magic. And when I was shuffling, now I couldn't shuffle the way I do now. I was really poor at the start. And my brother Max took great delight in taking a picture every time I dropped the cards. Now, there must have been well over 50, 60 of these pictures. And what little did I know, this was one of my biggest motivators, just to stop my brothers taking pictures of me. Hello.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm good, how are you? This is my granddad Green. You are my absolute favourite person in the world to do magic for.
And my wife's as well.
I know.
Well, when you came at first, you were all right, but over the past year, you've really improved, and you're actually very, very good now. You're brilliant.
You're always my favourite person to perform for. Always, because I love your reaction. So I'm going to do a few tricks for you.
I love you doing these tricks as well.
So, take anyone you like. Okay, now have a look at it and also show the camera. Okay, so.
Shut up.
So, can you see that card there? That's not yours, is it?
No, it's not.
If I take that and I'll go.
Oh,
It's fine, we can bleep that out. So, 2011, I was a mascot when
remember that
England
for skiing?
played. Yeah, do you remember it?
Very much.
My brothers they came here, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, watched it. So, Xavi, the midfielder, I walked out with him. I was 9 at the time. I won a competition, actually.
He's manager at Barcelona now.
He is. And Sergio Ramos, he's still playing. So
yeah.
That was such a surreal experience. The one thing I can remember most
unbelievable.
about that was I've got asked so many times what it's like seeing the crowd, and there's so many cameras flashing at you.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
see a thing, because you obviously used to be a footballer, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Can you name a couple of the clubs that you played for?
Mostly Irish League, Cliftonville, Linfield,
Played for
Crusaders.
Everton, didn't you?
and I went to Everton when I was 15. I remember you coming out of the tunnel, and you looked so small.
It was.
And it really was. It was a very proud moment for all of us, to be quite honest.
It was one of the highlights of my life for
But
sure.
it was a great honour to even do it, you know, because
Not many people get to do something.
not at all, son. not
Spain
at
were the
all.
world champions at the time. They
They
were
were,
amazing.
yeah,
They were
they
an
were
amazing
indeed.
team. So that was a really fond memory of mine.
Yeah.
If you got recognition as a magician, what is something you'd want to keep?
I think it'd be really important to keep the friend group that I have now.
A memory I'm very fond of when it comes to Freddy is actually the first time he drove me and all my mates to Nottingham to see our uni mates, and just the car journey there, the music, the vibes, you know, laughing, having a good time with my mates.
I've got amazing friends, people that I've grown up with, people that I've not actually known that long, and there's a few in between, and there's a good mix of them. But the people that I've got around me are people that I trust implicitly, and they're my family.
I can see myself being friends with Freddy in 30, 40 years.
All I ever know about my friends is that they're on my back, and that's really important to me, because if I get measurable levels of success, I know I need people that can help me, because I will need help. Everybody needs help, but these are people that I would trust would be there for me for the good times and the bad. So I would have to keep the friends that I've got now, and they know that as well. They know I wouldn't. No matter what happens, they're always going to be around, and I'm always going to be there for them. So the question I'm probably asked the most is magic real? Now, what is magic? Magic can be pretty much anything you perceive it to be. It could be a trick, a reaction, even a belief. For me, magic stems down to an emotion. I'll always love about magic something I'll never fail to fascinate. It's something as simple as a deck of cards. 52 pieces of paper with millions of different opportunities and unlimited amounts of joy it can cause people. Just think about it this way. You can take something as simple as like a normal card and you can create moments of joy like that.